In this video, we're going to teach you how to pull a tear off mid-air in 3 easy steps. So, quick disclaimer here, guys. I don't necessarily condone pulling plastic off and throwing and leaving it on your track. So what we try to practice here is if we go to a race and we use tear off, that we go onto the track after we're done racing and we pick up a few and take them home with us. It's just the right thing to do. Step 1 is going to be understanding how to pull a tear off on flat ground first. So what I suggest that you do here is just find a nice flat straightaway and get used to being on the throttle and pulling your tear off and then back to the handlebars. It's really a simple movement. Your tear offs are set up on the left side of your goggles. You always want to pull with your left hand so you have control of the power with your right hand, and just repetition on flat ground of making sure you're grabbing just one tear off at a time, pulling it, throwing it, going and picking it up, putting it back on, pulling it and throwing it until you've got that repetition down and you really just know the movement, because the key to this is being comfortable jumping with one hand, but really more so knowing the movement and knowing where to grab. Guys, we're curious here. Leave a comment below if you know how to pull a tear off or if this is a cool video for you so we can keep making some of these little niche videos to help your racing along. Just leave us a comment and give us some feedback. The second step is actually going to be executing this in the air. But what you want to do before you get to pulling the tear off in the air is that you want to just get comfortable jumping with one hand. What I mean by that is just letting go of the handlebar, knowing that you can get back to the grip and working your way up towards your helmet. And what I suggest here is that you jump 10, 15, 20 times, just tapping the corner of your helmet where your goggles would be or where the tear off would be. Just boom, tap it back to the handlebars, tap it back to the handlebars. Before you add a layer in of ripping, pulling, throwing, and then getting back to the handlebars, be very, very comfortable just getting the hand off, tapping the helmet, back to the handlebars, and driving through your landing safely and comfortably. Now, jump size is going to dictate how much time you have in the air. So if you're comfortable jumping a little bigger jump, you have more time to think about getting the hand off, going to the helmet, getting the hand placed back on the grip in a safe manner. That way when you land, there's no commotion with the front end, you can just go straight through. If you haven't checked out our merch store, it's pretty awesome. It's shopmxf.com. You can get t-shirts, jerseys, coffee mugs, pillows. We have it all. Check it out. Let us know what you think. All right, so the third step is just getting to the tear off. We've got tear offs loaded onto our goggles now, and we're actually pulling the tear off. We're getting our fingers clamping the tear off, and remember, you're coming from behind, grabbing and pulling to the front. You don't want to come from the front and try to yank back because it's going to yank your head to the side. So think about this. Jump, hand off the bars, come through, grab, pull to the front, let go. A lot of times they'll get stuck on your thumb, so you got to sometimes shake them off and then get back to the handlebar and get ready to go. It's so important when you've got a face full of mud, you can't see. The air time is the quickest and safest way for me to do it, because when you're going on the straightaway, you could be caught by a rut or another rider or any obstacle. So getting it off in the air is going to be super, super important. I think it's going to be a really good thing for you to have in the toolbox at home, especially if you're a racer and you're trying to have clear vision. All right, so the pro tip is this. If you cannot pull your tear off going over the jump, when you're riding and pulling your tear off going down the straightaways, that you want to do that seated. That's one thing we weren't specific about, is that you want to do it seated because your center of gravity gets to being a little lower, and if you hit the throttle, it's not going to throw you off the back as quick. And so there's another piece of that that's very important, is being in balance with your throttle. So you should be leaning forward. As you'll see in some of the clips, you'll see I'm leaning forward when I'm sitting down and pulling my tear off. So make sure that you practice being in balance with your throttle, because that's going to apply when you go to pull your hand off in the air. If you come off the face of the jump and you're not in balance with the power and what the bike's doing, then it's going to be wanting to pull you off the back of the bike and make you want to just grab back onto the handlebars really quickly as soon as you get your hand off. We hope you enjoyed the video and we cleared up some of the vision issues that you may have and get you looking stylish pulling those tear offs in the air. If you did enjoy the video, we have plenty more you can check out over here. We have our Instagram where we're posting really cool stuff weekly. Make sure you follow that at the MX Factory. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we have a Patreon account. If you feel in your heart to donate to this channel, if it's adding value to your life, go over there and check that out. It's down here somewhere. Peace.